Hello there. Now today's rose review sees us going all the way back in time to 2011, and as soon as you know the name of this rose, and if you're familiar with this particular Turner painting, you will know and understand how this beautiful rose gets its name. This one is Fighting Temeraire. Bred and introduced by David Austin Roses in 2011, it was actually named in honour of the Turner Museum on the seafront at Margate. And if you're familiar with the Turner painting this particular rose was named after, you will understand where it gets its colour from. This exquisite colour just simply radiating from these flowers is it's very difficult to describe. There are so many accents and so many tones within this particular plant. It is really difficult to actually give you one particular definite colour. Fighting Temeraire is a loosely formed cupped flower with only 10 petals per flower, meaning it's incredibly simple and very dainty. Each bloom quite large, measuring around 3.5 to 4 inches across. They only have 10 petals each and range in a multitude of colours. They open from buds, as you can see, that are nearly tomato red, with small amounts of yellow at the very base. They then open to these absolutely enchanting, loosely formed, very simple flowers, marbled with lots of different colours. Predominantly, it's very heavily on the peach side of things, with a lovely coral pink rippled up the back and lots of very heavy, resplendent, glowing gold in the very centre. They really are astonishingly pretty. Fantastic for enticing pollinators into the garden. It's a loosely cut flower with plenty of interest for pollinating bumblebees, hoverflies, or even wasps. This particular one does best in full sun, and it's not just the fact it enjoys a sunny location on a free draining soil that's is the benefit, but also you're going to need the light to catch these flowers. Very much like the lark ascending in its colour, it needs to hold these flowers up towards the light, and as the sunshine moves through them and they get caught by the wind, you'll get this lovely rippling and movement to the flower itself. It really is very pretty. This particular plant unfortunately does suffer with a little bit of black spot mould and mildew, so you do need to make sure that you mulch it deeply, but try growing this one on a south facing or west facing bank, or somewhere in the garden that you might be struggling with something else. It forms a fairly substantial shrub, something in the region of about 3.5 feet tall and coming on to 5 feet wide, so quite wide, sprawling and spready in its habit. It has a really good repeat flower and starts flowering in early June and works its way all the way through to the very end of August. The foliage, as you can see, is mid-green, and there is, as I say, a slight marbling here of black spot and a little bit of rust coming on this particular plant. The fragrance is mild. It's warm. It has notes of honey and lemon zest. It really is very pleasant, but you can see, I think I'll bring it quite close to the camera for you. One of the nicest things about this particular rose is how the flower moves. Very simple in its form, I say, with only 10 petals. It catches the wind and the light beautifully, moving around with that lovely resplendent golden stamens in the center, really enticing that lovely warm radiating gold coming out from the very center of the plant itself. A really nice one. Try planting this in a mixed border with other things that are really quite flouncy and heavy, just to break things up. A really useful rose, very much like Kew Gardens or Tottering by Gently, where you just want to break up the heaviness of a lot of the other roses you may grow in the garden. But a really lovely one. I really like this one. It's just going to become part of my permanent collection here in the North Lodge Cottage garden. Very interesting colour. I love this lovely deep coral colour up the back of it, and that, I say, that lovely resplendent golden centre is really very attractive, and the fact that it attracts pollinators in the garden makes it a really plus point for me. Fragrance rating, this one is going to score a 3 out of 10 stars with myself. This one is Fighting Temeraire, introduced by David Austin Roses in 2011. A really lovely one, and a nice break from the big flounce and frill of a lot of the other roses that are coming through the collection. Very simple, only 10 petals. I say the colour, it changes beautifully. As this one ages, that colour really fading out very strongly to a heavy cream, very pale peach. It's just astonishingly beautiful. I hope you consider adding this one to your personal collection. Don't hesitate to leave me a comment, like, follow and share. I'll see you all again very soon. Take care now. Bye bye.